Second Nature for Children is in the house. Coach, how you doing?
As always, man, great, great. How about yourself?
I'm doing absolutely great, Coach. We're gonna go ahead on, get to it, feed them this information, and we let it do what it do. Everyone is not trying to go to another level, so the one or two who want to go, here's the information that'll take you to another level in your life and definitely help you and help your children. So as you come in, make sure you subscribe, share, hit that thumbs up for the like, and make sure that you pass this information on, family. So the first thing I want to deal with, coaches, I want to deal with, and just make sure everyone is doing well with their physical being. I just hope that all the information that we're giving out, that the ones that haven't started exercising, now that you're exercising, you're becoming more conscious of your health, knowing that it's your wealth, knowing that it's the most important thing in your life, and that's taking care of yourself. So I just want to start off making sure that everyone physically has started exercising and start working on changing what you're eating, being more educated. If you need my help, there's my information, comment section. If you ever want to leave a comment, definitely want to make sure spiritually that you are good. I'm not talking about the church. I'm talking about you as an individual. You have that connection with that source that dwells within you, that gives you and brings you your tenacity, your discipline, your consistency, and your self-control. So I just want to make sure that you are good spiritually, because we have definitely been ran through the mud over years spiritually, and things are not getting better. So we should wake up by now and know that the way that spirituality has been taught to us is not the way to go. So we got a lot of work to do there, and want to just make sure that something should have been addressed in the Black community many, 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 many years ago, and that's our mental health. And I see from observation and working with so many of us over so many years that we don't understand that our mental health should be exercised just as well as our physical and our spiritual. And I just want the family to be aware of some things when it comes to dealing with your emotional and your psychological and your social well-being. I want you to really think about this, because a lot of us in the community, and especially the Black community, I want to deal with us. I can guarantee you that we can go in and be diagnosed with something dealing with our mental state, because a lot of us do not exercise our mental state because we don't know how. We never was taught that we should work on our mental state, and there is a exercising and things that we should be doing with our mental state, and learning how to heal from a lot of things that we have dealt with in the past, because it deals with our thinking. Every day we're going through something with thinking, the way we feel, the way we act, how we handle stress, how we relate to others. A lot of that is dealing with our mental state, and we're not doing well. So I want to just address some warning signs when you're dealing either with yourself, or you noticing it from someone else, either close to you, or just people that a lot of people don't observe, but I observe. I'm an observer. And so I'm always observing people. And I just want to share that if you're eating too much, or sleeping too much, or too little, I just want you to kind of think about it. You may be dealing with some stress, or something may be going on with you, or something that has happened to you in the past. If you're doing that, if you pulling away from people and your usual activities. Now, I'm not talking about pulling away from people for the betterment, because there is a pull away from people for the betterment. But I'm talking about that if you just finding yourself when you kind of begin to just shy away from a lot of things that you used to do that was positive, and you kind of just going into a corner by yourself, you may need to kind of check and see what's going on with you. But if you're having low or no energy, you're just not feeling like, the day is not the day. I'm just not with it. It is something a lot of times you need to deal with your mental health. If you feeling normal, like just nothing matters, you get to the point where, you just don't care no more. I'm getting to that point where I just don't care anymore. Or if you know anyone that you picking that up from, you may need to get with them and click on mentalhealth.com and see, can you get some help if you need help. Uh, Sometimes you may not need help. You just may need someone that you could speak with, or with another mindset that can kind of guide you in another direction. But if you having unexplained headaches and pain, you need to kind of get some things checked. If you feeling helpless or homeless, you need to get some things checked. Now, if you drinking too much, I know a lot of times we having a good time. We think we just having a good time, but we need to see, are we doing it too excessively? Are we smoking too much? Are we drinking too much? Are we doing more drugs as usual? It's time to check on some things with our mental state, something that we haven't been addressing in the Black community ever, to be very honest with you. If you feeling unusually confused, or if you forgetful, or if you always on edge or angry or upset or worried or scared about certain things, you need to check on your mental state. If you always yelling and fighting with family and friends, once again, you're always angry and getting mad with your close ones. If you're experiencing severe mood swings that cause problems in your relationship, one while you up, the next while you down. If you having persistent thoughts and memories you can't get out of your head, you could be dealing with some trauma or something that you know you need to kick it mentally, but you just cannot get it out of your head. You probably need to get you some help if you can't kick it by yourself. If you hearing voices or believe things that are not true, you definitely need to get some help if you hearing voices and believing things that are not true. And if you thinking about harming yourself, hurting yourself or someone else, you got to address that. And if you have the inability to perform a daily task, taking care of your kids, if you have kids, or going to work, if you find yourself just going downhill quickly, you know, I just want you to kind of think about some of the things that I just mentioned. And if you need help, please, where they got it, mentalhealth.gov, you can get help and talk with someone. If it's something that you think that, you know, you may need my assistance with, there go my email address, or you can hit me up, you and I can talk about it. If I can help you, I will help you. If I can see where I need to guide you in another direction, believe me, I have those connections as well. So before we even get started, I just want to make sure that the family is good with their mental, spiritual, and physical. Here we go, Coach. Coach, this is what I want to talk to you about. Do Black parents set their children up for failure? I want to talk to you. And so let me give a little reference so we can have things to come at too. So when we talk about set, we talk about to put in some place, to put, to place, to put in the right place, a position or condition. That's when we talking about set. Do parents set their children up for failure? When we talking about failure, we talking about a being unable to do or become what is wanted, expected, or attempted for success, for succeeding, failing, failing. So I'm gonna look at it for one or two ways, and I'm gonna let you give it however you see it. So I would definitely say that there is a setup for failing when you don't teach your child how to build a strong foundation. And so I would definitely say that parents are setting their children up for failure because a lot of times that foundation, when I was just talking about the mind, the body, the soul, even as adults today, when the adults really look at it, they struggle. We struggle in those areas, dealing with our minds, bodies, and souls. And we haven't seen yet that, man, I need to get it together so that I can make sure that I drop that down to my children or either my grandchildren. But a lot of us as adults, we are unconscious of it. We don't even see it. And it's just like that ghetto trend, it just continues generation, generation. They call it a generational curse. So I definitely think that we are setting our children up for failure when we don't teach them how to build a strong foundation. And the strongest foundation you can teach, the strongest foundation you can teach is how to take care of your physical, your mental and your spiritual. That's the strongest foundation that you can teach. In which a lot of parents, see, they didn't understand this foundation for successful living because they parents didn't understand it. But somebody got to come in and break this chain of not getting that understanding. We must begin to understand that one of the biggest reasons that we're falling as a people today is because we have no base. We have no foundation. It's not strong. We are leading basically when it comes to our mental health, we're leading in the negative. When it comes to our mental, man, you just go into the Black community and observe. You can see that for yourself. And spiritually, you see we are a dead people walking spiritually because we've been sold the religious book. We've been sold the book, not just the book, but the books of religion. So we got to be very careful. And then, once again, like I said, a lot of our parents didn't understand it. A lot of their parents didn't understand it. Just trying to survive a lot of times. So even you say yourself a lot of times that it seems like we really can't get it together because we're going through so many different struggles. So we can't even get it together. But we got to understand that a lot of our struggles come from not having a strong foundation. A lot of our struggles are coming from our mental state because we are making bad decisions. A lot of our struggles are coming from bad decisions, even in this time today. So even today, we have to think, even today, I would say, we think that having a lot of money puts us in a better place in life. But it does no good. I don't care how much money you make. It does you no good if you struggle in these three areas, dealing with your mind, your body, and your soul, because you can have all the money in the world, but if you're not well in these three areas, money don't mean nothing. Believe me, you can make all the money you want to and just die of a heart attack because you didn't take care of yourself. You can make all the money you want to, but making bad decisions, even the Bible says, a fool in his money will soon part. And you can have all the money you want to, but if you're not spiritually connected, then millionaires, multimillionaires, they commit suicide every day because of something is going on mentally. So now let's take it from what I would call the low income community, because I've been in that area working with those people and those children, and those are my people because that's where I come from for over 30 years. And I would have to definitely say that in that community, what they would call the low income community, those parents are truly setting their children up for failure. So, Coach, I want to talk and let you go in, and then I'm going to come back and share my experience with dealing with the families and the children in the low income community and how the parents are failing their children. What you got to share?
I say directly and indirectly, they are setting the kids up. You touching a few things in terms of them not knowing and their parents before them not knowing. Um, Money is nothing but a tool. You use it for good, you use it for bad, you use it for ugly. It's a tool. I think the key is that information that you can pass on, how best to use it, not only make your life better, but others around you life better. And I know a lot of people whose parents didn't have a whole lot to pass on to them. And I feel they think that that was the only thing they should pass on to them, the money, you know, not realizing that if you give them the key information or you steer them away from the pitfalls that you couldn't navigate, that can really take them on a trajectory and eventually they can get that money and whatever else they need, you know. That information is key, man. And then to talk about the struggling, a lot of times parents struggling so bad that they're waiting for the kids to get older to get a little part-time, whatever, to help out in the house. So they're still in survival mode, you know. And then the kids, you know, you'll feel guilty if you don't, you know, but then you get sucked in, to that, and you forgot about yourself, and time goes by, then you in the same boat as your parent. You know what I mean? So if you look at that man, it's hard to shake if your mindset is not of one, look, man, there are ways I can get out of this. And it starts with information, It started with information on how I could move a little differently, so I would break that chain more or less. So are they setting them up? Yeah, directly, indirectly. Some of them don't see it as being set up because they say as just being, survival mode. Not understanding that when you long gone, these kids got to fend for themselves, and they won't be kids then, they'll be adults. On what they got to pass on if they haven't changed their mindset. If somebody have not put that light switch on and said, nah, you ain't got to do it like that. Try it this way. You know what I mean? Uh, money's a tool, credit is a tool. It just depends on how you use it. You know, you can dig yourself out of a financial hole if you use it and don't abuse it. And not try to get what everybody else got. Now let them run their own race and stay in their own lane. You stay in your own lane. So with the information, correct information, man, you can dig yourself out of that hole and you can take yourself to another level. And even pull your folks up too. Well, if they would listen to you, because they might say, I'm the damn parents. You just got there. You tell them, you know what I mean? So, but all in all, yeah, directly and indirectly, they're setting them up. And there's no reason why that chain can't be broken, period. Information is at the click of everybody's reach now, even the kids. So there's no reason why that can't be broken.
And by you saying that, I don't even see right now where we're trying to even change. I don't even see it. Even people that seem to be doing okay, I see a very, like I say on other videos, I see a very selfish people that I can see where it's like, I got mine, so me and mine, we good, and they're not thinking about, where they come from a lot of times, or just not thinking about others. And when I'm in these communities and I'm standing out every day, and I'm seeing that the mother is already struggling. She got a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old hanging on each leg, and then you pushing, one in a stroller. I'm like, man, I mean, and coach, what I'm telling you, this is what I'm seeing every day, and I see you struggling already. And just the other day, going down Martin Luther King, I literally see a crackhead walking down the street, 9 months pregnant, with some panties and a bra on. Literally. She just walking down the street like everything is okay. Um, and I know, what she's doing. I see her. I know a crackhead. I know a drug addict. I know an alcoholic. I know what I'm saying. And all she have on literally is panties and a bra, And so definitely, man, from that community and us as a people, we got to help our people. That's one of the problems. We don't help it. I've started this organization and come out on YouTube to spread it out even more. Man, we won't even help each other, and it's very sad. Here's an organization where we can come in and come together to begin to help each other, and we won't even do it. And this great information is being put out that could change people's lives. When you go out on YouTube and Facebook and TikTok and you see all the things that people are doing, and you can see 1 million views for stuff that won't even change your life. Look at the stuff that we're clicking on. That's why when I did the videos on us being addicted to entertainment and just mess and gossip, we got it real bad. We got it real bad, and we got to do better. And then when I come back into what I'm observing and been observing for many years in the low income community, it starts a lot of times when two people come together that's not taking care of themselves physically. The lady, she's smoking and drinking. The man, he's smoking and drinking. Now you're bringing a child into the world that has a higher chance of being either physically or mentally challenged, because you got two people who were not taking care of themselves during the time of having sexual intercourse. Now they're not thinking. The lady, you're carrying this baby, and now you're eating all kind of ways. You're smoking, you're drinking, man. Then here's the father. This mess that's coming out of his body, where he's smoking, he's drinking, and coach, it's just a big setup for the failure. That's why I had came up with this from just observing our community. This man and this woman is setting our children up for failure because of what they're doing to their bodies. It even starts before the baby even get here. What that mother is doing to her body, what that father is doing to his body, that baby is going to feel the effects of that. And then a lot of times, the two parents, they don't even stay together. So now you got two people that can have a baby that was not taking care of their bodies well. So now this female is getting ready to have a baby that's either going to have some physical challenges, definitely some mental challenges, and now they split. This happens. This happens at a very high level. They don't even stay together to nurture their child. And a lot of times, that's when that trauma, it starts with that child, because now they are caught up in a lot of mess. See that now that child already dealing with what they went through in their mother's womb. Now they come out. Now they are really dealing with some issues. Now they got to deal with the man and the woman mess. And what a lot of people don't understand, from that birth and just take it up to 4 to 5 years old, when that child is experiencing that mother and that father acting a fool, that's affecting that child even more. A lot of people not thinking about psychologically. That is affecting that child, because that child would love for that mommy and that daddy to be together. So all the excuses we be using about I don't have to be with the woman, I can take care of my child and all that. I don't want to hear that mess. Stop having children so soon or at a young age. I keep putting out the solution. Just stop it. You can date, you can see whoever you want to. Y'all two folk can have a great time, but we got to stop bringing children into the equation. That's what we got to stop doing. You can go grown folks and do whatever y'all want to do, but stop bringing children into the equation. Now you got a child that's messed up. Now watch this right here. Now you haven't been, the child haven't been nurtured by the mother and the father. So when it's time to go to school, man, they behind. The conduct is out of control. Um, their learning is behind because they haven't been nurtured. The man and the woman didn't take the time in that very pivotal time of their lives, from zero, really from birth. I already took it from birth, but from them coming out from 0 to 4 or 5, and then really take that time where that learning at that age is so important. See, that child wasn't nurtured. And so now, by them being in school, they got conduct problems, they have learning, they behind within their learning. Now they haven't been nurtured. So now they end up dealing with a disability because of how the lady and the man was destroying their bodies. So now that child is slow. So now they got to put them in special ed. So now they began to medicate the child because of either its behavior or its slow learning. So now you have a child that was messed up before it even hit the earth out well. Now it got to deal with the mom and daddy not doing well. So now it's bringing trauma. It's feeling the effects of what mom and daddy was doing. So now once you put them into a school setting, they're not ready. So now that teacher in that school setting got 30 children. So they don't have time to give your child that special attention that your child needs. And your child is acting out. You're not putting no work in them. You so mad at the daddy to really you taking it out on the child, wishing you didn't even have the baby a lot of times. I've dealt with that. So now this child got to pay the price. And now the child is being medicated. Now you have what really you have a little addict. You're making your child out of a little addict. I've been working with these children for over 30 years. Coach, one while they up, one while they down. One while they up, one while they down. And mom, okay, because whether you know it or not, mom getting a check a lot of times. Yeah. So a lot of times the children are being pimped. When you go into these low income areas where these schools, and you see, man, that a majority, a lot of these kids, and people not even thinking about this, a lot of these kids in here are on medication. Man, it's over a 50 billion dollar a year, over a $50 billion a year industry in medicating our children. And the school system is the number one institution that comes into the play to help medicate your child. And we're not even showing an interest really in our children well-being, because here we go again. Now our life itself is so out of control and we're very unhappy with our lives. To our children are paying the price for it. Sad story. You got anything you want to share, Coach? I go on and on. I definitely been dealing with this for so long, but jump in there, Coach, and share your mind.
People can be people, man. People can be people, and they can keep doing whatever it is they're doing, whatever they've been doing. Until there's something or someone giving a wake up call to look at things differently, so they can think differently and move differently. But people can be people, man. You talking about folks not having, you shouldn't have kids. That's not gonna stop, man. That's not gonna stop. And I know a young kid going through that right now. That's the situation you talking about. He about 5, 6 years old, you know, going through that right now. So people are not gonna stop. Hopefully, like I said, something will make them gravitate to um, moving differently so they can make a change. Because as long as I'm about that notion, as long as you're alive, man, your path can change. You can change your trajectory. It starts with you, as long as you're alive. And you can't make people, I say, gravitate to what is necessary to change their life. That's something that they have to do, you know. You can talk to you blue in the face, man. You might as well talk to yourself. But hopefully at some point in time, man, they can get that wake-up call and change that. But right now, and then when you talk about survival, struggling right now, man, come on, you know. So
And what I have,
hopefully, man.
I don't care. These grown folks, they can do whatever they want to do. To be honest with you, I really don't care. I really don't care, especially if you don't want help. But the problem that I'm having, they keep bringing these children into the equation. That's the problem that I'm having. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to let you close out, Coach, but I'm going to say this right here. In dealing in this community, man, I'm seeing that they setting our children up for failure. I would say this right here. When you are putting sports and cheerleading over academics, you're setting your child up for failure. You're setting them up for failure. When you're not introducing them to other occupations, and you leave them limited to this or that, you setting them up for failure. I would have to say you setting them up for failure. Absolutely. And when you're trying to be their friend first and not their parent first, I would definitely say that you are definitely setting them up for failure. Definitely. And when you give them everything because you're trying to be a good parent, whether you know it or not, you setting them up for failure. You doing too much. Sometimes you can do too much. And when you think that, okay, you know, my child should have this, my child should have that, my child. No, your child shouldn't have everything they ask for. Because what's gonna happen is when this journey hit them upside the head and let them know that you don't get everything you want, it's gonna be a rude awakening for them. And it may not be on the good end. You understand? So we have to be very careful when we are just giving, 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 giving. When we talking about, well, I didn't have this when I was younger, so I want my child to have it. Parents, we got to make better decisions, especially when we have children. And like I said a little earlier, grown folks, y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. That's on y'all. But the problem that I'm having is when I have to work with these children every day. Because what I've seen, coach, is when I'm dealing with a lot of these children and the behavior, and once I meet their parents, a lot of times I'd be like, wow, okay, I see where it comes from. And you think that's something, and this happens every day right here. Watch this right here. I'm around children every single day. Okay. Coach, these children right here use profanity in front of adults. What I'm trying to tell you, it's not like it's she, Mr. No, they use profanity like they just talking like it's normal. There is no respect. Are you serious? If you go into some of these camps and hear the way some of these children talk, it would literally blow your mind because every second word is a curse word. And the most disrespectful part is they don't care what adult is standing around. They just use profanity like it's just a way of talking now. Our parents, and I'm telling you, our parents have truly set our children up for failure. A lot of these parents have truly let their children down. And I've done other videos on this, but I'm giving you my observation from what I see, and I can prove it. I can bring you where I'm at, and I can show you that these children are out of control. And once you meet their parents, who every time you see them or get around a lot of them, you don't smell nothing but dope and alcohol. On a bit, on a large percentage of them, when you get around them, coach, all you smell is dope and alcohol. And so one thing we got to stop doing, parents, you got to stop doing everything in front of your children. Dad dropping the little boy off of football practice. He opened up the car door. I got high. I got high. So I can imagine shouting and rode all the way from home over here with daddy. Coach, I got high. It was smelling just that bad. And I'm not going to let mom off the hook because I've been back there where mom can drop kids off. Once again, I got high. I got high. I'm telling you what I've experienced. And I see it. I'm watching the kids. I walk back so I can watch them practice football, and all I smell in the air is dope. A group of fathers, a group of fathers stand over here to the right, smoking dope. A group of mothers sitting over to the left, smoking dope. Man, we got to do better, man. So I would definitely have to say our black parents are definitely setting our children up for failure. And I'm bringing it from the low income, dealing in that area. And I'm even dealing with a lot of parents who seem to do well financially and giving their children too much and don't realize that you can be hurting them as well. So we got to do better. A lot of the things, and it won't happen no time soon because we won't even come together. And like I said, we won't organize. I have the organization for us to come together and put the work together, but it won't happen no time soon. So, Coach, you got 3 minutes. I'm done. I'm gonna let you close it out. Our parents are truly letting our children down and setting them up for failure.
Being purposeful and intentional. That's where I am. That's where I've been for a long time, but that's where I am right now in my life. Being purposeful and intentional in what I do, what I say, what I take in, who I deal with, purposeful and intentional. Because I see certain things that I want to accomplish, and I know I have to be that way in order to get it. No. So purposeful and intentional. There's information out there, but anything you want, even if, like I said, it's rough where you are, you can look up other places, even other countries that you might be able to shine in. So you don't have to stay and struggle where you are. Days of that is over, man. Be purposeful and intentional in what you taking in, who you moving with. Are they elevating you? Are they like an anchor, keeping you, weighing you down where you are? Are they pulling you further down? You got to know that, you know. If you are purposeful and intentional, I guarantee you, man, your life will change. Some aspect of your life is going to change, you know. So that's my 2 words for today: being purposeful and intentional, whatever you do, man. Who you hang with, how you move. Guarantee your life gonna change. That's where I am, man. I'm passing it on. So take it or leave it. That's on them. So
I take it. I take it. I take it. And I thank you so much for that time, Coach. I thank you for that closeout. And believe me, I'm taking heed. So if ain't nobody else taking heed to it, when you get that closeout, I got it. And I give me those two again.
being purposeful and intentional. What you say, what you do, who you hang with, what you take in, what you read, all of that, man. Everything. Just be purposeful and intentional, whatever you do.
Got it.
You know.
I'm out,
So,
Coach. I'm finna go run with it. Take care.
you too, man.